Hello?
Hello?
Yes?
Who is this?
Who are you trying to reach?
What number is this?
What number are you trying to reach?
I don't know.
Alright, well, I think you got the wrong number.
Do I?
Yeah, man, it happens. You're cool. Hello?
Why don't you want to talk to me?
Who is this?
Tell me your name, I'll tell you mine.
Hell no. Hello?
What's your favorite scary movie?
My favorite scary movie? I mean, it has to be Silence of the Lambs, right? I mean, just like the filmmaking on display, the way that they look into the camera, it makes it so like creepy, like it makes me.
Film majors. Hey guys, welcome to the second episode of Movie Meltdown. Today we're going to be discussing the Scream franchise 1, 2, and 3. Here I have...
I'm Eddie. Nice to see y'all.
That's Eddie.
I'm Eddie.
Yeah,
this
that's Eddie.
is
Doug?
yeah.
Yeah, I'm Doug.
We live together.
We do live together.
yeah, two very distinct names. So
Yeah.
how do you guys feel about the first Scream movie?
It's a classic, instant classic. As much as it was supposed to be a satire on horror movies in general, I feel like it was also a great step into the horror genre itself for a lot of people. Like, I know growing up, that was the movie that kind of got me interested in horror movies, and it just became a constant classic that I went back to.
Yeah.
Right, I'm not so much into horror movies,
Yeah.
but watching this, it like toes the line perfectly between horror and satire, I guess.
I feel like it's like a perfect meld of like comedy and also scary,
Exactly,
like
yeah.
especially with the first one, because I feel like the later movies definitely get a lot gorier and more graphic.
They lean into it.
But like
yeah.
the first one, it's just, I don't know, it's the perfect combination in my opinion.
Yeah.
I agree.
Yeah, you hit the nail on the head with the satire part, man. That was good.
Well, I mean,
Yeah.
it's supposed to be a satire.
I didn't know that.
It is supposed to
Yeah,
be a
it's good.
satire. Yeah, they take like all the stereotypes from different horror movies, like the final girl always having to be a virgin, and then the moment that they try to kill her is like right after, because they're like, "Oh, look what you did," blah blah blah. But yeah, I have to say, one thing that really really bugged me about the movie was Tatum's death. She shouldn't have died.
Oh, is that the garage?
Yeah, the garage.
Yeah.
She 100% should have survived. She was getting bottles. She was bashing him on their head. She flipped him over just by like leaning like this.
Dude, she worked
Yeah.
for it.
Yeah,
No,
and then
yeah.
she died.
It's like she wanted it.
No, yeah, she could have
It's
just
like
like
she-
lifted the garage or like pressed the button like one more time while he was like on the ground. But no, she's like, let me go through the doggy door.
Yeah, it's a little weird when
Yeah.
you put
But-
in the element of like a real person struggling,
Yeah.
but then add in at the end like the horror movie element of they just die in a
Yeah,
fun way.
Oh, you want to play psycho killer? Can I be the helpless victim? Okay, let's see. No, please don't kill me, Mr. Ghostface. I want to be in the sequel.
I feel like that also
You know?
falls directly under the whole satire thing where
Yeah.
like you have that dumb friend who dies in a stupid way.
Yeah.
And they just hit that. They hit that on the head. Right there.
He's silly.
right there.
Right there, they hit it right on the head.
Right on the head, yeah. I have to say, another character that kind of grew on me was Gail Weathers, like the weather.
Oh my God, yeah,
I
totally.
loved her by the end. Hated her at the beginning. Yeah,
You know, with each sequel, she got a little bit better.
I agree.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
that's what I've heard.
But honestly, I feel like one of the best scenes in that entire movie, the first one,
Mm-hmm.
it's got to be when they're all around the couch and they're watching
Yeah,
the TV,
and they're talking
and
about
they're
the
talking
rules
about
for a horror
movies,
movie.
and it's
And Stu's like, I'll be right back. And he
Yeah.
says the same thing at the end when he's like crazy with a knife. I love Stu.
dude.
Great twist, by the way.
Great
Yeah, no,
twist, yeah.
fantastic twist.
So good.
Because I feel like at that point, slashers were always just like one person, so that
Yeah,
completely
totally.
like changed like my perspective on like, oh, it can be two, and it was like every second I'd be like, well, he's in this scene, so it's impossible for it to be him, and it all clicks at the end when you realize it was two people. I think that they're the best ghost faces like in the entire franchise.
Can we also just talk about Matthew Lillard's performance?
I
Because
love
Matthew Lillard all
Lillard.
day.
I love Matthew
William
Lillard.
Great
Afton,
guy.
man.
Like,
Shaggy.
Shaggy.
God.
Shaggy FNAF movie
FNAF.
soon.
FNAF.
Yeah, FNAF coming up.
So excited for FNAF. We're talking about that later.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I'm so excited for that. But you know what's a great scene is when in the very like end of the movie when he's on the phone with his I think he's on the phone with his mom.
My
Or
mom's
he's like,
gonna be
"My
so
mom's gonna
mad."
be so mad.
He's on the
Dude.
phone with like Sid, and he's
Yeah.
like, "I'm a victim of peer pressure. It's
Yeah.
not my fault." I was like, I love this
And then he
guy.
gets hit in the face with the phone. Dude, it's just such a good. It's so funny.
It's so good, and the dialogue I feel like is so like natural and back and forth. It's just so entertaining
Yeah.
to watch, you know. Well, let's do our classic ranking of thumbs up on 3. 1, 2, 3. Agreed.
I love this
Awesome.
movie.
Thank you guys
Good movie.
so
Great
much.
Great movie.
On to the next movie. The next movie we're going to talk about is Scream 2. How do you guys feel about this movie?
I feel like it's like basically the same as the original, but it's like fun somewhat.
Yeah,
I actually like it. I think it's kind of underrated.
I
I
agree.
think it gets a lot of hate.
I really like the college atmosphere, and I like, there's like one scene that I hate, but I love Mickey as the Ghostface.
Yeah.
I love him. He's so fun, and like the way that the movie starts up with Mickey in his film class, and like all of them are talking about movies, and it's, what's the film guy's name? It starts with an R.
Randy.
Oh, Randy, yeah.
So Randy is going like, oh, sequels suck. Like, no one likes sequels. And Mickey's like, actually, sequels are awesome. I love sequels. And they start going like back and forth saying like, is sequels better? Blah, blah, blah. And then his entire motive is like, I want to be famous. And
Yeah.
that's why I'm making a sequel, because they made a stab movie and blah, blah, blah.
I love the banter in that scene.
I
It's
love
really
the
good.
banter, yeah.
Life is life. It doesn't imitate anything.
Come on, Randy. With all due respect, the killer obviously patterned himself after 2 serial killers who have been immortalized on film.
Thank you. Are you suggesting that someone's trying to make a real-life sequel?
Stab 2? Who'd want to do that? Sequels suck.
No, come on, man.
Oh, please. By definition alone, they're inferior films.
It's bullshit generalization. Many sequels have surpassed their original.
Oh, yeah?
Name one.
Yeah.
Aliens, far better than the first.
Yeah, well, there's no accounting for taste.
Thank you, Ridley Scott rules.
One scene that I hated was the lunchroom scene.
Yeah.
You know what I'm talking
the,
about?
The
Yeah.
musical?
The
Yeah.
musical.
Yeah.
So, for people that haven't seen it, there's a scene where Sydney's boyfriend gets up on a table and starts singing to prove that he's not a murderer.
Yeah.
Yes.
That's it. He's singing like, I think I love you. It's terrible.
It's so bad.
It's so, like, people are, like, clapping along. It's
Yeah.
just such an uncomfortable scene to watch. Like, that was the only thing that really threw me off in the movie.
Hey, I think I love you, so what am I so afraid of? I'm afraid that I'm not sure of. A love there is no cure for.
Also, Randy getting killed off screen.
That
Randy
pissed me
should
off.
not have been killed.
Oh, no. And
Absolutely
they realized
not.
that in the third one.
Yeah. Like, I don't know. He was such an entertaining character, and I loved having, like, characters keep going from, like, film to film.
Yeah.
But just having him get killed
He should have been a
off-screen
legacy
was-
character.
Yeah.
He should have been a legacy character. I agree.
That pissed me off.
More than
watching it.
Dewey. I like
Yeah.
Dewey,
Yeah.
but, like...
I love Dewey, but you got
Like,
stabbed
Randy
so
was
many
such
times.
a fun character, and
Yeah.
Dewey just, like, almost died every single movie.
And then Dewey got more and more depressed. It just came...
It just
he
wasn't, like,
became
fun
less
to
fun.
watch, you
No.
know? No. And I'm trying to think. I loved Sydney's best friend.
Yeah.
She should have survived as well.
Yeah.
Yeah. I felt
Yeah.
like her death was pretty, like, the cop's death was pretty gruesome. Where they're in, like,
Yeah.
the cop car and it just, like, goes through their head. I was like, damn. Yeah.
What do you think about the opening kill?
I
At
like
the
the
movie
opening kill.
theater?
Yeah.
I like it.
At the
It
movie
was
the-
cool. J. Pickett Smith getting killed off.
Yeah, having like really famous people getting killed off at the
Yeah.
very beginning of the movie.
Yeah.
I feel like that's just a staple
Yeah.
for Scream,
Yes.
yeah. And I love that, yeah. What did you guys feel about like the new characters?
I thought they were interesting.
Interesting, yeah. I was not a huge fan of the way they revealed the other killer,
Yeah.
which was Billy's mom.
Yeah.
I feel like they could have done so much more with that.
Yeah.
And it was just like, it wasn't as interesting for me because it was kind of just like Sydney sees her at the end and is like, oh my god, Billy's mom?
Yeah.
But
The
like the
entire time you
entire
don't
rest of
even
the
know
movie,
who
you
she
don't
is.
know who
Yeah.
she is. And it's literally just her going from scene to scene being like, oh, I'm just taking notes.
Yeah.
And like, I didn't care about her character
Yeah,
enough to
no.
be that interested in the reveal. It was just like, oh, remember Billy? He
Yeah,
had a mom.
They
This
just
is our
wanted to
motive.
find a connection, and they were like, here's our connection. Let's do this, but not actually.
It was just lazy.
Yeah.
It was really lazy. Yeah, I loved Mickey,
Mhm.
but her reveal just I didn't
Her
care.
It was kind of boring.
It was just lackluster. I was like, oh, it's that lady from before, and then they said, oh, it's Billy's mom, and I was like, great, cool, that's it.
I felt like they shoved that in just because it was they wanted to connect to the first one somehow.
Or they just wanted two killers.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So how would we rank this movie with our thumb scale? 3, 2, 1. Yeah, that's fair. All right, on to the next movie. Next movie we're going to be talking about is Scream 3. Now, how do you guys feel about this movie?
It was definitely a step down for the first two. Even worse, more so than the second one, I felt like.
Yeah. What about you?
There was one scene in particular that I really liked. And like, yes, it is a complete step down from the first two. But I found it extremely, like, not extremely, but you know what? I found it very creative how they were like, let's use a printer to get the killer's message in there. And then, like, they go into this house, and then the house blows up, and it's just like, oh my god. Oh my god. You know?
Oh my god.
Right?
Yeah.
Oh my god, yeah.
No, that's my favorite part.
So I have to say, I really like the third one almost as much as the second one because I think it's so camp. Like the whole premise is just making a stab movie. So it's like you're in the Scream franchise and now they're making a stab movie and all these killings are happening because of the stab movies that are from the Scream killing. It's so like convoluted. I think it's so like entertaining. I think Roman as a Ghostface, I don't know. I wasn't a huge fan.
Yeah.
I didn't feel connected.
It wasn't even that. It was just like, I don't know, having one Ghostface killer was like an interesting reveal, but it was like the whole thing that made the Scream franchise interesting was the fact that they had two killers or like multiple killers because that was like such a shock for people. But I don't know. It was just like they were trying to connect it too much to the first one because, you know, Roman's motive being, oh yeah, I'm your stepbrother.
Yeah.
To Sydney. I was like, okay, cool.
It felt a lot like how Saw kind of did their sequels, and it's just like, let's try to make it somehow make sense with Jigsaw and the guy and everything. It's just like, just stop. You
Just
should
stop. Like, it's so unnecessary.
Yeah.
Yeah. And, like, what's it called? Him being like, yeah, I orchestrated all of the killings. Like, he told Stu and Billy to, Stu and, what's it called? Yeah, he told them to kill, her, what's it called? Her mom. And I was like, no, they had their own motives. Like, there was no reason for them to have done that. Like, you didn't need to, like, push anything for that to have happened. I don't know. It just, like, it felt it was trying too hard to connect with the original movies.
Yes.
But there's, like, one scene where this girl is running away from Ghostface and she's in, like, a costume closet and they just have a bunch of Ghostface costumes and she's, like, hiding in one of them, but Ghostface is one of the Ghostface costumes on the rack and kills her. I was like, that's so stupid. I love it. It's, like, it's so entertaining how stupid some of the kills were. And I loved the girl who played Gail, but, like, in the stab movies, how she was, like, obsessed with Gail Weathers and is like, I understand you. She's like, we're like this. And Gail's like, I don't like you. She's like, I don't like you as a person, like, at all. I loved her. She was so funny. Yeah.
They also toned down the kills a lot. I
Yeah.
feel like, because of the high school shooting that happened during the production.
Yeah. Yeah, so they couldn't do as many kills as they wanted to because of that going on, which makes sense, and I really do appreciate how they had, like, that sympathy, like, for the situation. But yeah, I really enjoyed it. I'm not going to say it was better than the first one, absolutely. None of the Scream movies have been better than the first one, in my opinion.
Yes.
I feel like some of them are on par to, like, the second one. I really like the second one. I think the third one is kind of on par.
Yeah.
I really liked it.
Yeah.
Did any characters stick out to you, too? Besides, like, the printer?
Jay and Silent Bob cameo.
Yeah. That was a good one.
Yeah. No, the printer really just took
the printer
stage
really
for
just
me.
like took hold.
Oh yeah.
Mm-hmm.
This is so creative and just wowie.
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 What a perfect way to describe this movie.
Yeah,
I agree.
Yeah.
Would you say wowie?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It feels like it's like he's like the evil daughter of like the first two. Where it's like,
yeah, I could see that. Yeah, and I know the original Scream movies were supposed to end at the third one.
Yes.
And that's why there was
Yeah.
such like a big break
Yeah.
from the third one to the fourth one, because they weren't planning on making any more. And then they found a script and they were like, this kind of hits.
Yeah.
And they were like, let's
Did it
continue.
hit? Yeah.
I think it hit. With the later movies, they focused on being more graphic than more like content based, you know?
Yeah.
But I still appreciate them. I still
Yeah.
like them. I think the kills are really good. I think the plot that they're doing is pretty good. The whole like Billy's daughter thing, like
Yeah.
I really hope that she becomes a Ghostface.
Yes.
I
exactly.
really hope so.
For the
I think that'd be
next
so
one.
cool. Like for the next one, and it's like still told from her perspective, but it like
Yes.
kind of cuts around, and you don't realize she's the Ghostface. I think that'd be sick.
Yeah.
Well, let's give us a little ranking with our thumbs on 3. 1, 2, 3. I'm glad we're all in agreement about that.
Oh,
yeah.
yeah.
Good for us.
Nice.
All right, on to the death segments. The next thing we're going to be doing is a Ghostface tier list. Now, first person we got on our tier list is Mickey.
Yeah.
And you said you want to put him in C.
I already kind of want to put him in C.
And I hate you for that, because you know that I love Mickey, and I just
know
talked
you
about how
love
much I love
Mickey.
Mickey. I think that he is such a fun character. I think that the motive of wanting to be famous is overdone,
Yeah.
and it's so annoying. But he was like the first one, so it definitely had more of an impact.
I feel like Jill did it better. That's purely why I
I
think...
do love Jill, but I feel like his character is just so fun. Like, his acting choices were so good, and I really didn't expect him to be the killer.
Yeah, where do you want him to go?
I'd say I would want him to go on A, but I could settle for B.
I will settle for B.
We'll settle for B. All right,
Got
Mickey goes in B.
Surprise, Sydney.
Next one we're talking about is the other Ghostface from the second movie,
Yeah.
Mrs. Loomis. I think D or F.
D.
Yeah,
I
D.
say D.
It had so much potential of
Yeah.
being really good, but they just did not put any effort into it whatsoever.
Yeah, no. I feel like there's so much that could have been done. Maybe save her for a later movie.
Or maybe even just like having like Gail look through like something about Billy Loomis and seeing a photo
Yeah.
of the mom, or like seeing information on the mom. Because I feel like it was just like so out of nowhere being like, this is Billy's mom and she wants to kill Sydney because Sydney's the reason that her son's dead.
It felt like, hey, you remember that reporter from the beginning? Yeah, she's actually Billy.
Remember
Loomis's
how
mom.
she comes in at random times in the movie and is like, I'm just taking notes. I'm such a fan of you, Gail Weathers. Like,
Yeah,
I don't care. I
Yeah,
really
I
don't.
really don't.
So we agree on D?
Yes.
All right, D is good.
Mickey was a good boy, but my God, that whole blame the movie's motive. Did you buy that for 1 second? Poor boy was completely out of his mind.
And you're not.
No, I'm very sane.
The next one is the sheriff.
Okay, so the sheriff from
Scream 6.
I really didn't see it coming.
I didn't see it coming. I'd say B or A.
I say B. Out of those, I feel like he's on the lesser scale for that movie.
Yeah.
I prefer Quinn and Ethan, but
I thought it was really, there was one line of dialogue he had after Quinn dies,
Yeah.
where he's like, I would do anything for family, and I feel
Yeah.
like that's such good foreshadowing for like
Yeah.
his motive, him being a ghost face. I thought that was so sick.
Also,
I really like that.
the entire time he's talking about how he lost his son, and you're just like,
You're
I
looking
feel
at
so
Ethan,
bad
and Ethan's just like,
yeah, I feel so bad for him.
Yeah.
And then you find out that it's Richie, and it's just,
It's
wow.
just upsetting. It's
Yeah.
disappointing, yeah. So I'd say, I don't know, B?
B.
B
Yeah.
works, yeah.
Okay.
And I just made sure I was first on the scene so I could switch her body out with a fresh one. A little fake blood, a prosthetic. You'd be amazed at what a grieving father can get away with.
Next one, we
Still,
can both
S.
agree. S.
Immediate S.
Immediate
Don't even need to
S.
talk about it.
We don't even need to talk about it. Skip.
Yeah.
S.
Okay,
Absolutely.
Help me, please.
Surprise, Sydney.
Charlie?
Charlie?
D. Just D.
I'd say C, just because he did a bulk of the killings.
Yeah.
He wasn't
he
really
did a
like
lot
an
of the
interesting
heavy.
ghost face, but he did a bulk of the murders, which is like, I appreciate it, you
Okay.
know. So I'd say C.
C.
C for Charlie.
Yeah, C for Charlie.
C for Charlie.
You know, you learn a lot when you watch movies over and over. All the plots are about trying to kill you.
Where's Jill?
You think she's gonna get away? You think anyone gets away?
Richie. S.
Hated Richie.
Really?
Hated him. He was so weird.
Can we
I just
put
didn't
can
enjoy
we
his
put him
character.
in B at least?
I could do B.
Okay, B.
B, yeah.
I don't know. I like the idea of it being commentary.
Nobody takes the true fans seriously. Not really. They just laugh at us. And why? Because we love something? We're just a joke to them? How can fandom be toxic? It's about love.
And I feel like this we can both agree on.
Roman is F.
Roman is F. I hated Roman. He was such a boring Ghostface. He was the only Ghostface of that movie, and I didn't even care about him.
Him being related was bad.
Him being related was bad. It was just like an effort to be like, oh, remember that guy?
Yeah,
Here,
okay.
blah, blah, blah.
You were the only child she claimed, Sydney. She shut me out in the cold forever. Her own son.
Roman Bridger, director.
And brother.
Jill.
I think A or S.
A. I say A.
I
say
really
A.
like Jill. I think A, yeah.
They were gonna keep her alive, and I wish they did.
She should have stayed alive. Like that whole thing where like she just was like, oh, let me pretend to be a victim and like stabbed
Yeah.
herself, fell through the table. I was like,
It brought
that
it back
is
to one.
commitment.
It brought it back to one.
I love her for that. So
All right.
definitely A.
Hello, Sydney. Surprised?
Billy.
S.
Boom. Okay.
Any killer from the first movie, S.
Yeah.
Stu's flipped out. He's gone mad.
We all go a little mad sometimes.
No!
Queen? A.
Really? I'd say B. I didn't have time to
let's
attach
go
to
with
her
B.
character.
Let's
I
go with
think
B.
the pretending she was dead was really
Was
good.
really good. It was better than Roman's.
It was way better than Roman.
Because they
I
didn't
cannot
check her
stand
pulse.
Roman. They didn't check her pulse. And she looked dead.
Yeah.
She definitely looked dead. So I'd say B for sure.
Hey, roomies.
Ethan, her brother.
C.
I say, oh, C. Because there were so many times where I genuinely thought he was innocent.
I did genuinely think he was innocent, but I just didn't care.
Okay.
I
So,
just didn't care, yeah.
We'll put him in B with his family.
B. Yeah, B works. B with the family.
Ta-da. Mindy was right. It was easy to juke the roommate lottery.
Amber?
Amber? Are you kidding me? Why?
Because it felt like
She
she
gave
was trying
such,
too
like,
hard to be
Stu
Stu.
energy.
It felt like she was trying too hard to
But
be
like
Stu.
I liked it.
Okay.
And I like women, so like I can't really say anything.
Me too. A.
A for women. Good answers.
Yeah.
All right.
Leave it! Just stop! You, Amber. I'm not the killer!
I know. Welcome to Act 3.
So I'll just say for people watching, Jamie is giving thumbs down to women behind the camera right now. But anyways, that's the end of our segment. I think that was good. On to our next segment, which is Five Nights at Freddy's. Ah! And the last segment we are going to be talking about is Five Nights at Freddy's. FNAF and Freddy. The new movie comes out today, the day that we're filming.
Really?
I don't know what day it is today.
You know,
Probably like what number?
About a week ago.
About a week ago. Jamie says it's the 26th. Is that correct, Jamie? Thank you so much, Jamie. All right, so we're going to be talking about what we're hoping to see in the Five Nights at Freddy's movie. Me personally, I want them to say at the end, "We are FNAF."
The real Five Nights at Freddy's were the friends we made
along the way. You know,
if that line's not in it, it's not good.
I don't think. I think I'm gonna step out of the theater if it's not in it. You
Listen,
know?
we got a few obviouses. We want the bite
Obviouses.
of we want the bite of 87.
I want the
We
bite
want
of
the
87.
bite of 87. We want
Hold
Purple
up,
Man.
hold
No, I
up,
think
hold
we
up,
want
hold
Purple
up.
Man.
What bite
Does
of
he have
87 are you guys talking about?
I'm not talking about the one that Fred Bear did because that's the bite of 83.
Thank
Don't
you.
come at me.
What do you guys? What do you guys think
What
the
he
bite of
said.
87? So I want the bite of 83 to be in it.
Yeah, no, that's what I want.
Yeah, I don't want the bite of 87.
I still deny
That's
that
never
it
even
existed.
like we've never even seen that.
Deny that what existed.
The bite of 83. I think it's stupid.
The bite of 83 is the Fredbear bite.
We're not talking about this.
Funny one.
How did Crying Child not? What do you mean it
We're
doesn't?
not done with it. Why
I
do we
want
want to
Purple
see him in
Man
the
to
movie?
be in
You
it.
want Purple Man?
Yeah, I want Purple
I want
Man.
Why
his
he
entire
Purple?
body
Why
to be
he
painted
Purple?
purple.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I need to know why.
I think he signed up for like 3 movies.
Yeah?
Yeah, Matthew
guy?
Lillard. He only got 3 movies.
I like him an Urkel guy.
So I thought he was talking about Urkel guy.
Yeah.
I don't think Urkel guy will be in this one. I think Urkel guy might be
Maybe in the
like,
sequel?
in
The
this.
squeakquel.
Oh, yeah.
There's gonna be some dishwashers in there. That's gonna go crazy.
I think they're gonna do something. Don't talk about the squeakquel. I almost missed that. I think they're gonna do something with the cupcake. Honestly.
No, they are doing something.
Yeah,
with
they
the
are.
cupcake.
There's so much with that.
So
freaking-
something
I
that
don't like that.
I hope that
I
all
don't
of the
like
Five
that.
Nights at Freddy's animatronics have voices, and the cupcake has a deep voice, like they do in
Oh.
animated movies,
Oh.
where they
do
have
you-
the
what do
really
you-
small, cute character
Yeah.
have
Well,
the
I mean,
deepest voice
in the fourth
ever.
one, the cupcake does play a part, so I mean, I expect it.
So
don't
I have to say,
remember.
the one thing that I really, really, really hope for is I want them to do the spring lock suit.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
They
I
are
want.
because that is like.
They
gory.
are.
I'm pretty sure it's in one of the trailers.
I want that to happen so bad. Well, no.
No.
What they have in the trailer is they have Michael Afton,
have
and
him
it's
in
like
it?
the little thing going, and it's like bzz, bzz, bzz.
Right.
Yeah.
I think that's what you think is happening.
Right, yeah.
But the Springlock
Play the
suit is
clip.
when William play the clip is when William Afton is getting haunted by the kids that he murdered. So he puts on the Springlock suit.
Right.
And he gets
And
mollywopped.
no, well, what happens is he's laughing at the kids, and the kids are afraid because that's the suit that they were murdered in. And then a drip of water falls, and the spring locks lock, and he gets crushed inside the
Yeah.
suit.
How do you not know this from the Give Life minigame?
For real.
But he gets crushed inside the suit, and then he's like alive,
Yeah.
but not alive. So he's just trapped.
between.
Right. Yeah,
It's
yeah.
just in
He's
between.
purgatory.
in
That's
between.
a lot of characters in Five Nights at Freddy's where they're not dead, but
We
they're
were-
like kind of.
We were initially gonna have Doug on this segment, but FNAF actually made him cry.
Yeah. No, I heard about
Yeah,
that.
Jamie, can we actually cut back
so
to the
sad.
clip
Doug
of
crying over
Doug
FNAF?
crying?
Oh my
Oh,
god.
that was so
I mean, it's
sad.
an
that
emotional
poor
story.
boy.
Oh,
That
the
was-
poor boy, poor
He's
boy.
such a
After
little
that,
baby. Blur it
after
out.
that freak skiing accident.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I just
he was
feel
never the
like-
same.
What do you
Never
hope
the
to see
same.
in the FNAF movie?
I hope that they say the whole. Actually, I don't even know.
I hope for that too, honestly.
I want that to
I
happen.
really
You,
want
like,
that to
stole
happen.
I hope the Five Nights at Freddy's is the friends we made along the way joke. So
Okay,
I just
sure.
have nothing.
What does FNAF stand for? Friends never.
Die.
Ate Freddy.
Friends never
never-
are Freddy. He's
Friends
evil.
never are
But
Freddy.
friends are never
I
Freddy.
think here's prediction. Put it down on the screen. Prediction.
Don't put that on the screen.
Okay.
Make him look
Erase it.
stupid.
There was
Erase
like
it.
Please
Get
get
rid
that
of it.
There
off.
was no editing. I think the little girl from the trailer, because his sister's there, Josh Hutchinson.
Yeah.
Josh Hutchinson.
What a beautiful
She's
man.
like holding hands with Golden Freddy.
Yeah,
You
no,
know?
I don't know how I feel about
The
this.
FNAFs are the friends we made along the
I
way.
think she's gonna be friends with Fredbear, Fred.
Maybe.
Fredison.
I would-
Maybe she's being manipulated, and she's the next victim.
And then she's gonna get killed out, and I
Yeah.
hope Vanny's in there.
I think she is because
think she
Vanessa.
is.
Vanessa
This
is
is
the
too
blonde
advanced for
one.
you.
Vanny comes in
Do
in
you
like,
like
the later
Vanny?
games, but
Okay.
she's
I
kind of
mean-
like a girl that's like.
Izzo, I'm talking. Do you like Vanny?
I mean, she's kind of like
Yeah?
an
He
okay
hates women.
villain.
He
Yeah.
hates women.
I
He
feel
just
like
hates
Purple
women.
Guy was just like way more mysterious for way longer. Vanny was just like the villain for just one game. So
I think they're gonna continue using her for a bit.
She's not just a villain for one game. There's a lot of lore behind her character. Like there's a
Well,
lot
alright.
of things that
I
happen.
wasn't- I'm
But
cutting
this
you off
isn't
there.
about that.
This is
is
about the
Five
friends-
Nights.
oh.
At, this is about the friends we made along the way in the Five Nights at Freddy's movie. All right,
Yeah.
that's gonna be the end of this segment.
Yeah.
We'll see,
And there's the
guys.
end of the episode too.
End of the episode,
Yeah.
guys. Comment down below how you feel about Scream, how you feel about FNAF, how you feel
Give
about
us like,
Markiplier.
share.
Give us like, share. Give us all that. Thank you guys so much for
Follow
watching
us
the
on X.
episode.
What?
Do we have an X?
No. We do
Follow
now.
us on Instagram.
We
Follow
do
us on
now.
Instagram
Yeah,
at
actually.
movie.meltdown.
Yeah, we're gonna put it on the screen.
We're gonna put it on the screen.
No,
Thank you
we're
so
not.
much, Jamie.
Join the Discord.
Join our Patreon.
Follow our
6 tier.
GoFundMe.
Just fade to black gradually.
Yeah.
Well, thank you guys so much for watching.
Thank you.